and you're very welcome to this Hurlingworld.com special video preview of the 2009 GAA All-Ireland Senior and Minor Hurling Championship Finals. We're here in Nolan Park, Kilkenny. Later we'll hear from Kilkenny manager Brian Cody and some of his players, including team captain Michael Fennelly. We'll also hear from Tipperary selector Willie Ryan and Tipperary captain Willie Ryan ahead of Tipperary's biggest game since the All-Ireland final of 2001. We also get the views of former Kilkenny legend Joe Henderson. All this to come on hurlingworld.com.
About Galway coming into Leinster, and they would make it a very, very serious Leinster championship, and there would be serious contenders for Leinster honours, which of course they were. And we had Galway in the semi-final first game, so it was a huge challenge for us. And you know, at times we were struggling in that game, we were hanging on for dear life in that game, and they threatened to kind of overrun us at times, but we rode a storm and we came out on top, and it was a big win for us. And we had Dublin then Leinster final, a team that was, you know, having had a great run in the league and that, and they run a serious Vienna for them, and they put us in the pin of our colour as well. So there were two serious wins, and obviously we had Waterford, a real one in last year's All-Ireland final, where Waterford had massive incentive to kind of atone for the last year's, I suppose, non-display really, and they did that in a major way. So we've been tested strongly in those three matches, and we were more than happy to come out on top.
You've been involved as manager as long as Henry Shefflin has been with this Kilkenny senior team. You've seen his progress obviously over the last few years. He's overtaken Eddie Kerr as the top scorer overall in All-Ireland Senior Championship. It's a nice milestone for him to have. He's such a genuine player as well, and a genuine person.
He's a terrific player, terrific person, all of those things, you know, and he reaps the rewards of, you know, an awful lot of genuine commitment which he puts into the whole thing, you know. But I mean, Henry is still there and still going strong, and I'm sure he's not looking at what he's achieved in the past, but he's looking at what he can try to achieve in the future, and hopefully Sunday week will be another milestone for him.
Obviously Tipperary, the opposition, they've shown this year just how clinical a team they can be, and particularly the performance last time out against Limerick in the semi-final. I suppose Owen Kelly was one of the main men, and then Lara Corbett popped up for the last 15 minutes and got a hat-trick of goals. You'd be hopeful that your defence will be resilient enough now to stop that Tipperary charge, but they do offer probably the biggest threat to date, don't they, really?
They're a very, very talented forward line, you know, and you mentioned two of them there, two hugely experienced players, two excellent players really. The rest of the players, there are four forwards, and some of the players they can bring in as well are serious talents. I suppose you mentioned two long serving there, and then the younger serving there, Nolan McGrath, is a terrific Vienna form, and a really skillful player, and you know, and Seamus Callan, John O'Brien, Pat Kerwick, you know, whoever plays, the likes of Bain coming in, they're just a very, very strong panel, and it goes beyond the team for them, like, you know, to be bringing in 4 or 5 subs on a regular basis, and it's as big a challenge as we could ever have faced.
Willie Ryan. Willie, one of the younger players on this Tipperary team, but I suppose it's a fairly youthful panel as well. What's it like for yourself now, the build-up to the All-Ireland final? Probably the last few weeks, maybe the buzz hasn't been quite too big in Tip, but it's starting to build now, isn't it?
It is starting to build, yeah. As I said, it has been quite enough there for the last week or two, but I think maybe towards the end of this week is going to take off, but I suppose the players have to step aside from that and just focus on the job at hand, and that's getting ready for the All-Ireland and hopefully putting in a good performance.
What's it like for yourself, I suppose, as a player trying to get onto the Tipperary starting 15, because it's been fairly challenging. I mean, we've seen in games to date this year just how much there's strength in depth, but also how much people have established themselves in the starting 15 as well.
Yeah, I suppose it is very difficult to get on this year more than ever. I think we've had such a settled 15 that I suppose going forward for the next day the team isn't likely to change anyway, bar God forbid an injury, but when you know you're not playing, you have to put in effort at training and hopefully be in the top 5, because there is 35 players there and everyone's chomping at the bit and everyone wants to be getting that field and have a piece of the action.
Is there a feeling of the inevitable that you're now in an All-Ireland final? I suppose over the last 2 years people have been saying that you've been one of the form teams, maybe second to Kilkenny, such as what we've seen not just in the championship but also the league.
I suppose we've been built up to be people are saying that we are the second best team, but I don't know, we haven't really taken on any of that from what the media have been saying. We've been focused on ourselves, and I think that this team has just been on an upward graph maybe, and we're getting better as time goes on.
A fairly settled and focused approach, not just in the lead up to the All-Ireland final from yourselves, but it seems like that over the last couple of months, and indeed going back to last year as well, leading quite a settling force.
Yeah, I think everything is settled, be it training, matches, the team, everything has got more settled over since Liam has taken over, and I suppose people are more relaxed going into games with that as well, and maybe more confident of knowing that the ability that we have, that we can do the job at hand.
What are your own thoughts about Kilkenny? Because obviously all the talk, or a lot of it at least, in the lead up to this All-Ireland final is that they're going for 4 in a row. They've been unbeatable in the past 3 years, but I'm sure you feel you're the team to beat them.
Yeah, they're going for 4 in a row, and I suppose that record speaks for itself. They're a fantastic outfit, and they've blown teams aside, and I suppose all we can do is go up to Croke Park on Sunday week and put in a performance to the best of our ability, and hopefully we can match their intensity and their work rate, and who knows what will happen if we match them toe for 70 minutes.
Reflecting on some of your games this year, I suppose a lot of people were critical, and indeed us in the media, of the fact that you didn't close out the games, you let the teams back into it, but you rectified that last day out, and I suppose really rectified it in the sense that Lara gave an outstanding performance in the last couple of minutes as well, seemed inactive for 55 odd minutes, and then just bagged a hat-trick of goals. You take half that now this weekend.
Definitely, I think it just shows that lads will do the job. Like there's no rash decisions made. Lads been taken off quick if things aren't going well. As I said, Larry 55 minutes, and after 65 then he had 3-1 bagged. It just shows the ability that's there, the ability Larry has, and hopefully that our ability maybe to close out games might come to the fore or whatever, but there'll be no closing out Kilkenny, and All Ireland you'll have to just go toe for toe, and hopefully in front there'll be no big winning margins.
How excited are you yourself? Obviously your first All-Ireland senior final, okay, it's the same for an awful lot of lads, but it is a big deal so early in your career.
Yeah, it is. I suppose it is exciting, but you have to put it to one side as well. Like, it's exciting for the people around, their family and the clubs and all that, but as players you just have to block it out, and you have to just focus on what's at hand, and that's going in tonight now in training and going in again Thursday night, and like that's where matches are won inside in Thurles on a Tuesday and Thursday night, and that's all we're focusing on.